Hello everyone, I am Tacet and welcome to the Gems of War World Lore Event, Week 3, Day 5. So today, we are going to be, of course, messing around with the Vault Event. Vault Event ended up coming in today. It lasts all weekend, of course, for another 2 days and 6 hours. So all day Saturday, all day Sunday, all the way until Monday reset. So we still got plenty of time, a whole solid 2 days to go and grind up. We ended up getting one more hero class to level 80. And the next order of business is to try to get in Slayer towards that goal. Of course, we have a bunch of dailies where we can get a little bit more XP towards that and just kind of get a little bit of grinding in and hopefully get some vault keys. So far, we've only gotten one, so a little bit unfortunate, but we'll definitely be trying for more and see how many we can get. Probably going to be going a little bit longer than normal because I do want to make sure we ideally get at least a vault key, gosh, to double our vault key amount. Since we've only gotten one, maybe we could triple it. That'd be ideal. But yeah, we're aiming for at least 10 vault keys this week. I'm at 1 right now. We need another 9. If we can get it this weekend, that'd be great because then we'll have 200 vault keys. So far, pretty bad luck. But we'll keep grinding at it and see how it goes. First things first, though, let's just clear out dailies just so we don't have to worry about them later. These dailies, Adventure Board does actually have, what's his name on it as well, by the way. It does still have Gnome chance. So more time than ever to actually go do your dailies. Not only is it really quick class XP, which I believe I just used the wrong class, didn't I? Yes, I'm still using Oracle. I guess it wouldn't matter too much if I use Oracle for it. But that's not what I want. What I want is Slayer. The only hero class we do not have at level 80 yet, or 80 or higher. There we go. 4 Volkies so far, nice. Yeah, my total battle is probably around 300 something right now too. But I've only gotten 1 Volkey so far, so unfortunately a little bit behind the curve as far as drop rate. Unless this guy wants to go and increase our luck. Go, Volkey. Nope. We've been getting that drop a lot today. There's a little bit of gold. The gems wasn't his drop. That was from the daily adventure thing. Adventure board. But hello everyone. Hope all of you have been doing good so far. Hope all of you are ready for the weekend. Oh, what do we need here? We'll take that for now. Grab our little bit of splits. But hello, Karsten. Hello, Dan. Hello, Birdleaf. Hello, Kevin. Hello, Scout. Hello, everyone else. Welcome, welcome. Okay. What do we even need here? Move that down. Do some splits. Hello, Jamie. Welcome. You got 16 Volkies so far today. Ouch, that's a lot. I feel so behind. I feel so behind. I've been getting pretty unlucky with it today. Relative to the amount of battles, we're definitely below drop rate. You know, I'm just going to stay with this team. It's not optimal for this, but I need the XP. Plus, it still one-shots the first battle normally. It's the other two that normally doesn't. Sometimes you even can get away with one-shot in the second one. Oh, not if it does that, though. Yeah, 2-shot doesn't take too long, as you can see. So even if it doesn't one-shot this, the follow-up's not that bad. Like right there. And then we get our mana right back, so it barely even matters. Yeah, Slayer does have that one bleed mechanic thing. That actually helps in quicker battles, oddly enough. Due to a little bit of pokes. Because it might not be that much damage, but it definitely adds up. Also, I could have just taken that for an extra turn. Should have. Because now we're going to need to recast it. But then again, we already had the mana for it, so I guess it didn't matter much. Just have to surge this and we win. Oh gosh, why are you not surging? I needed that surge. Oh, let's take that. Oh, I wonder if the AoE was actually enough. It was, wasn't it? Fail. Also, I probably should have done that in case I got Gorgulth with 25%. Done the weapon first and then done Romaine. It doesn't end up mattering though. I guess it all just melts in the end. There we go. Okay, so that's out of the way. That's out of the way. Let's go back to Zhejian. So we've been farming this area. Has a lot of good benefits for us. Actually, let me make sure my perks aren't anything annoying right now. Where's my class? Extra attack, free freeze, free souls, free glory, though that won't really be applicable. Red allies gain some magic, why not? And none of these will really be relevant. But just for the fun of it, let's have Death Mark. There we go. Okay. Should be good to go. Oh, nothing else. At least we got 1 free soul per turn. Which actually slightly more than 1 free soul per turn. Off this rather useless hero class. But hey, it adds up. Extra 2 souls, which ends up coming out probably to 3 souls and a Valky. Nice. Let's go update that number. Ooh, shiny. Also, if we get another Valky, we'll probably hand out a code. That's not the number I'm looking for. Where's my Valky number? There we go. 2 Valkys. Let's get that number to 3. At minimum. Come on now. Yeah, we'll hand out code at 3. That or when we reach level 73 Slayer, whichever comes first. As in 3 total, not 3 during the stream. So next key. Oh, there we go. We just doubled our keys. Now to double that double, and then double that double, and then double that double, and we'll have 16. Do I know what mana color next Doom is? Not off the top of my head, but you can look it up underneath the website thingy. Oh, so hello, Jamie. Hello, Simpleman. I'll go check it in a second. Hello, Matt. Is it blue? Yeah, you can check it through Terran's World. You just go to, let's make this bigger. You go to Terran's World. If I could type. Go to weekly events. Actually, you can also check based on the weapon color. You can actually go under weapons and see what the next Doom color weapon is. And the next Doom color weapon is blue. So we know that the next event's going to be blue. And the one after that's going to be red. And the one after that's going to be purple. But yeah, you can tell through the page here. And then the one after that's going to be green. And then the one after that's going to be... I don't think we see one yet. But as far as what's 100% confirmed, let's see which ones actually have dates applied to them. We know all the way up to purple for July. So next one is blue, which is next week. The following one is then red, which is next month. And then the following one after that, like 2 months from now, in early July, is purple. And this is as far as I believe we know 100% as far as its colors. But yeah, next one's blue. So that means this Monday will be blue then. All week. So if you need some good blue troops, try finding them now. Because you're going to need them next week. Hello, Cookie. Hello, Joker. Hello, Pamela. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello, Rise. Hello, Scout, if I didn't already say hi. 4 vault keys so far. Well, we had 1. We got 2 now. Aiming for that 3. We'll get there. Need another 8. At least that's ideally the goal. I mentioned earlier that we'll probably have the event video up tomorrow morning. Kind of keeps getting pushed back. I do want to do it very soon. The only thing we really need to cover is teams for the thingy. Teams for the week-long event. For anyone that still needs to wrap it up. Might also go over teams for just farming gnomes in general. However, there really is only one way you need to do it, and that is this way. Like, every other method is slightly slower. If your only goal is to farm gnomes, this is pretty much the only team you should be using. Because every other variant of it, even Phoenicia builds, are actually slightly slower. I'm not aware of anything that wins at same speed consistently with as many methods. Because it has 4 times 5 times green for full mana, 4 times 5 times blue for full mana, 6 mana to full mana, and instant kill entire team once you have it. The only thing that could potentially make it better is if you get lucky off a converter rather than using an explosion. However, while it can get a quicker overall win, its win rate per hour is slower from what I've tested. Yeah, King Gobtruffle is really good for blue if you lack options. You can go get him just by throwing some shards at Amethrax. You can use something like Forest Troll, double, yeah, it's Tower of Doom, so you can run Forest Troll, double Truffle into Mirage Queen. Or instead of Mirage Queen, you can run Hero with, like, one of the big Doom weapons. Not the one that comes out next week, but, you know, one of the ones that have Doom Skull convert. Like the brown or green one. And you're allowed to use a different colored hero weapon. Hello, Liz! Welcome! Hope all's been well. We're on the gnome grind right now. Not the greatest of gnome weekends, but trying to get those drops. Also, I don't think we've hit a single 1,000 this weekend, too. Which is really disappointing. Not a single 1,000 glory gnome. Normally that makes up for the lack of vault keys. But we haven't even been hitting that this weekend. We had several 500s, but not a single 1,000 if I'm not mistaken. Alright, where are we? Let's see. Take that up. Split. Keep getting rather average boards. As long as we cascade extra turn to makes up for it. Because ideally what we want to be seeing is extra turn green-blue. It speeds up a win by about 2 to 3 seconds. Which doesn't sound like much, but adds up. Given that the entire cycle of the battle is like 15 to 20 seconds. 2 to 3 seconds is pretty drastic. It's like the difference between a 20-second full cycle and a 15-second full cycle. More often than not. Because do you get like that extra turn right at the start? Explosion extra turn is still quick, but not as quick as if you get it right from the beginning. But definitely quicker than completely missing the explosion extra turn. Like right here, we're probably going to miss the extra turn. And we don't get full mana. That's what a slow battle of that team looks like. And that's what a quick one looks like. And that's pretty much the full contrast of the time, as far as this team is concerned, for the most part. That's pretty much the full range of how long it takes to win a battle. The instant win like that, or the like 3 turn, which is when you explode, don't get an extra turn, and you have to use a whole nother turn to go get your mana. Yeah, that's about the slowest the team ever goes. Which is definitely saying something. Because that's still like under 20 seconds, I think. Definitely pretty close to it, if nothing else. Let me cast. There we go. The event video is coming out after the event is over. It's not going to be that long, gosh. The only reason it was so late was due to compromising factors. Wasn't sick, I would have gotten it done on Monday or Tuesday, like we normally do. Yeah, I know. I know. But some people might not realize I was sick, especially people that don't catch our streams. Because if they just watch the video, it might be like, oh, why is there no video for like this entire week? Because some people don't watch any of the streams, which somewhat makes sense because if you're watching it after the fact, they get pretty long. Some people still like watching them in the background though. But some people just watch like the normal main videos, like the weekly video, any guides, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, we did finally get Pure Faction done. We are done with all factions now, as of last Tuesday. I almost keep forgetting that because I was kind of sick at the time and wasn't like fully there while I was doing it. But yeah, we got it done. We are now done with all factions. At least until another one comes out, obviously. But no longer will we have to do a Tuesday faction. Ooh, Mech Gnome has no good drops, just like JoeConnors for me now. And we just got Volky off it. Nice. Because that's the only good drop I actually need off him. Every other drop is actually useless to me now on him. Very nice. Even epics. We have finally finished out all of our epics. Nice. 3 Volkies. Come on, 7 more. Oh, code time. I did say once we hit 3 total, I would hand out a code, didn't I? Let me go do that. It was either 3 total or 7-8 hero class. Though 3 total got a lot quicker than I thought. 2 within like 15 minutes. Nice. Let me go get a code for that. As I mentioned earlier. Here you guys go. Use it on gemsofwar.com with the game code section. Your invite code can be found underneath your settings menu. Whatever your game says in the bottom left corner of settings menu, right where it says invite code. Redeem code is right over there in chat. Just copy paste the random numbers and letters starting with GS2. And it gives the same reward as always: 2 treasure maps, 1 gem key, 200 souls, and 2,500 gold. And it's only usable on PC mobile version. But yeah, enjoy everyone. Every version except the consoles, unfortunately. But there you guys go. Enjoy. What's the flash offer right now? Oh yeah, it's still that thing from earlier. So what are my offers right now? Yeah, we just have Deed and we end up getting the guildmate thingy. I wish that would come at a discount. If that was 25% discount, I'd feel a lot more inclined towards it, even though I've gotten it literally every time I've seen it. Because it's only a 10 profit, a 10 gem profit, and 75 of it doesn't even go to you. That's good for giving guildmate gifts without having to spend money to go give guildmate gifts. And one thing that's kind of funny is that pack is actually priced in such a way that I think it's actually cheaper to buy gems and buy that pack than it is to buy those other packs if you were only doing it for the guildmate gifts, which is kind of weird. But I believe it actually does come out to that. I didn't do the full math on it. But if you get all your gems through gem offers, I think it might actually be cheaper getting guildmate gifts off of that pack than it is to even buy them in the shop with money, which is kind of funny. I'm not sure if it comes out to exactly that way. If you count the free gems you have, maybe. Obviously, we've only been using free gems for it. I haven't bought gems in this game for, gosh, how long? Forever? I think it's been like 3 years. Even on our Switch account, we never bought gems. We got a pack that had gems in it that got it started. The Death Knight pack had, I think it has 500 gems in it, or 450 or something. But we never actually bought specifically, you know, directly gems. And the only reason we got that was just kind of have the account going initially. Make things a bit smoother. Same as the Ring of Wonder. Just help the startup of the account a little bit better. Ring of Wonder really only worth if you're going to be playing a lot. Definitely worth synergizing with a Vault events, since you're already going to be playing a massive amount during that. Though there's no way to get it to overlap 2 Vault events, normally because it has a more than a week or a month gap compared to other events. Like, unlike other events, it doesn't consistently happen once a month. It happens about once every, I don't know, what actually is the interval for? It kind of random. It's like anywhere from like 4 weeks to like 6 or 7 weeks. There's like no consistency to it. It's generally about once a month, but it doesn't always go by that pattern. Yep, no problem for the code, everyone. Enjoy. And hopefully we'll find at least one more Vault key to stream. Though 2 within 15 minutes is definitely a pretty good rate. But I still want to get 7 more, so we have 10 total. Come on, Glory Gnome, you know you want to drop it. You dropped this one earlier. At least give us 1,000 Glory. I don't think we've seen a single 1,000. Hey, there we go. At least we got the 1,000. Yeah, we've been hitting a really low amount of thousands off of her this weekend. And by a very low amount, I mean I'm pretty sure that was my first one. We kept getting 500s and 200s. Mostly 500s. Which isn't necessarily that bad of a thing. If we like never got 200s, just getting 500s wouldn't really be that bad. Though theoretically, getting 1,000 and 200 doesn't that come out to actually be better than getting 500s? Yeah, it is. If you only got 1,000s and 200s, rather than getting 500 every time, assuming the 1,000s and 200s were even, you would actually get more glory from getting 1,000 plus 200 than you would from getting 2 500s. Which is pretty much what was happening earlier. Pretty much just straight 500s. Had a couple 200s mixed in. Oh, so we finally got 1,000. Those are like one of the biggest drops. Actually, it is quite literally the biggest drop. Hey, 10,000 gold. We did get a 50,000 gold drop, by the way, earlier. It's Normal Gnome's biggest gold drop. It's not the greatest of drops, but it's not bad. What was I saying? But, oh gosh, the other drop. But yeah, as far as, glory, 1,000 glory is the best drop out of any gnome in the entire game. Not counting Vault Key, but all of them have Vault Key. But if you ignore Vault Key, it's actually the best value drop as far as gem value. Let's see, we'll throw that down for now. Oh, what? Did the stream go down for a moment? I didn't even notice. I was drinking water. Maybe me drinking water had interference with my internet. Oh gosh, what is this board? This is one of the worst boards I've seen in a while. Wanted to see if we could randomly cascade something. Apparently not. Normally it's better to go for the explosion. Unless you directly see a cascade that's worth it from it. The explosions normally work better value. Much better value. If anyone has any other questions or anything you want me to go over, let me know. I'll make sure to do so. Otherwise, our goal is all of the Volkies. The best gem value gnome drop in the game is 1,000 glory. Not counting Volky. It has a gem value of 45. But it's the 1,000 glory drop off a glory gnome. It's 50 glory keys. And 50 glory keys is worth approximately 45 gems. Because it has the effective drop rate of about 10 gem keys. And 10 gem keys costs 45 gems. Or sorry, wait, what? Sorry, it has the effective drop rate of 5 gem keys, which has the value of 45 gems. I was gonna say, wait, what? Something's wrong there. But yeah, not 10 gem keys. It has the value of 5 gem keys. I was gonna say that was a bit high, but yeah, it has the effective value of 5 gem keys. And 5 gem keys is worth 45 gems, which theoretically means 1,000 glory is worth 45 gems. It's not gonna give you 45 gems as drops. You might get a few gems, but compared to buying gem keys, it's worth 45 gems. Yes, we actually did do Mirrored Hall's Pure Faction without potions. It's one of only 2 factions I actually ever did without potions. Crypt and Hall of Guardians were the only 2 factions we ever completed without potion effects. It was very, very hard to do, but we were able to do it with enough luck. Yeah, they're the only 2 I ever did without potions. The Hall of Guardians is a bad idea to try to do without potions. But it's one of the more difficult ones. Mostly because of that gargoyle on Final Battle. Now, once you secure a kill on it, you pretty much auto-win. The problem is actually killing it before it kills you. That or silencing it before it can do anything. Yes, it was Silent Sentinel. The thing that increases your attack. That one brown-yellow that increases attack based on armor. Followed by Double Gargoyle. That was the team I ultimately won with. You need all 4 for the final battle. You throw a buff immediately on final battle to get your attack up. You basically just keep spamming your attack up until your armor goes away. Or, you know, as long as you have like 100 plus armor, it's still worth doing. But, oh, sorry, Mirrored Halls. Never mind. Oh, no, I didn't run it for Mirrored Halls. Oh, I saw you said Hall of Guardians. My bad. No, I never did Pure Faction with no potions for Mirrored Halls. I don't think it's possible. You'd have to get a really good Mimic copy and then try killing it with that. Well, I guess you could because you have a bunch of resummon. You would definitely need at least level 200 Horde with the 50% bonus, though, if you're going to run it without potions. The team I ended up running for was... well, it technically doesn't matter what your team is. As long as your 3rd slot is the mana generator and the 4th slot is the legend. Because the other 2 are going to die regardless. Even if you have potion effects, probably. But only your last 2 slot matter. The other 2 could pretty much just be whatever. I think I end up just ultimately running 1 of each or something. Just because your first 2 slots matter very little for that. It's your last 2 slots that matter most. With 3rd slot being Mana Generator and 4th slot being Legends. Both of which have a chance of summoning. And as long as you have 1 copy of both of those alive, you will win. So you might just want to run 2 of both. Because the most important thing about that battle, or that entire Delve mirrored halls, is you must enter the final battle with both the Mana Generator and the Legend. If you can do that, you have a chance of winning it. If you're missing either or, you're probably going to lose. And then throughout the battle, just make sure you always have at least 1 of them by resummoning them off their 2 abilities. One of them has the ability to resummon enemies, and the other one has the ability to resummon allies. Just make sure you'll try to keep 2 copies of both at any given time, so you never lose both of them. Because if I'm not mistaken, that Delve doesn't have anything that like full AoEs. I don't think. I actually forget. But I think it's all like single target and other things like that. So you don't necessarily need to worry about like getting wiped all at once. So as soon as one goes down, just make sure you have a replacement for it. Already resummoned. It has a lot of summoning. It probably has more summoning than any Delve in the entire game to complete Purification off of. Which are the most difficult to complete Purification Delves? Werewoods, Sea of Sorrows, Hall of Guardians, and those are probably the main few. They are Werewoods. Actually, let me go to the page. It'd be a little bit easier to tell. They are Werewoods is one of the harder ones. Sea of Sorrows is one of the harder ones. And Hall of Guardians is one of the harder ones. Those I'd probably say are the hardest 3. A couple of them can be annoying, but aren't necessarily hard. Like, I believe Lazarus's Lair was annoying, but not hard. I can't remember. Or maybe it was both. It's all really luck-based, which is what makes it annoying. So I guess Lazarus's Lair might actually be added to that. Yeah, Laraz is really annoying. I'm not sure how hard it actually was, but it's really RNG-based. Yeah, Laraz's Lair would probably be on that list, just because of how ultra annoying it is. And the fact that all your abilities are luck-based. So if you get unlucky, you, like, auto-lose, but if you get lucky, you, like, auto-win. It's a weird combination. It almost reminds me of Crypt, in that you need a lot of luck to win, except even more annoying than Crypt. But, yeah, those are some of the most annoying. Sea of Sorrows because of the really high true damage, which unless you have really high stats, you're just going to die to. It's not necessarily hard once you have high stats, but trying to do it with lower stats is pretty much instant dead. Laraz's Lair just has a lot of really annoying luck-based mechanics. Werewoods has a lot of Transform, which could just be annoying because things constantly keep gaining all their durability back. And when you're at a damage disadvantage, that could be super annoying. And the biggest issue with Hall of Guardians is Gargoyle. Gargoyle is excessively high damage. And if you go to the final battle with anything less than 4 troops, not only are you normally at a damage disadvantage, even with 4 troops, but you are substantially at a damage disadvantage if you're missing even 1. Because Gargoyle boost ratio is based on all your attack on your team. And if you're missing a whole troop worth of attack, it's going to do substantially less damage. It's one of the other reasons why you attack buff on the final battle. Not only is it so your skulls would do a decent amount of damage, but it's also more so just so your gargoyles will actually do a decent amount of damage, because you're already doing less damage per castle with your gargoyles compared to the enemy. So the little bit extra attack spam kind of helps get you more towards the enemy's amount of damage. Stop giving us 200 glory. That is still better than so many other drops. 200 glory even still has like a 9 gem value, because it's worth about a gem key. And gem key's worth 9 gems. let's see. I'll take that down. But you can get Lazarus done with 7 potions. It is very luck-based. I feel like with 7 you would be able to do it with enough tries, but you could have ran out of sigils. Potentially. What you basically need to do with Lars' Lair is hope for attack steal. Hey, level 73, nice. You want to hope for attack steal as often as possible, and then hope for mana drain or silence when you need it. And as long as you get like a really early attack steal or 2, you're normally in the clear. Because not only does that reduce the amount of damage they'll do to you, but obviously it also increases the amount of damage you'll do to them. Attack steal early on in the battle is like the main thing you're looking for. And then later in the battle, you're just looking for constant mana drains and silences when applicable. Though of course you don't get to choose. And that's pretty much like the whole premise of the delve. You just hope you get attack steal, mana drain, or silence when you want it. And as long as it somewhat goes in your favor, low luck, you're going to be able to go through it. But you need that to happen for every battle in a row. I forget how many battles it is. Is it 3 or 4 or 5? I actually completely forget how many battles Lazarus Lair has. I think it's only 3. Though it's definitely, I would say, one of the harder factions if it has more than 3. But I'm pretty sure it was just 3. 1, 2... Wait, does this allow you to jump all the way to the end, or do you have to do one of these? I actually forget. Never mind, it might be 4. Because I think you have to do 1, then one of these 3, then one of these 4, and then the other one. So yeah, you do actually have a whole additional battle, too, that you need to get lucky off of. So that's a little bit unfortunate. But yeah, normally take the 1 battle, the 2, the 4, and then the final, if I'm not mistaken. And you have 2 different choices of 4. I believe this is the path for the delve. It has one of the really weird paths of any delves. Because you can kind of go in almost any direction after you do like that second room. Okay, anyways, where were we? Get out of Underworld. I'm like trying to find our Explore Kingdom. It's like, wait, there's no Explore down here. Thank you, Defiant. Greatly appreciated. Well, hello, Henrik. What do I think about your farming method above? Let me go double check. So what farming method were you referring to? This is how you farm now. Do casual PvP and pick the 4x firebomb battles. With the new Blind Guardian, it gives double trait stones in addition to 6,000 gold, 2 class XP, plus gnomes. I found firebombs to not be necessarily the quickest. I think firebombs take about 30 seconds to win. 30 to 40 seconds. Which is about double the time of Explore. It definitely would work. You get a wide range of loot. One method that actually used to be really, really viable, though it's not possible anymore, is upping the difficulty for additional rewards in casual PvP. So that you would end up getting that bonus whenever you do a firebomb team. And at that point, I would say it was worth it. But without it, it's not really that good of value anymore. It's still worth doing if you see one randomly laying around. I'm not sure if you would just go and stay there and only farm them, because they made changes that makes it a bit harder to constantly keep finding firebomb teams. You reached level 1,498. Congrats. Very close to that 1,500. Oh, so that reminds me. Did we gain a level earlier? Yeah, we did. Get in there. Yeah, it does give much more gold. And you have pet gnomes. It just wins a bit slower because you have to wait for the enemies to firebomb. There's a lot of things that go slower but gives better loot. Like Explore 12 is another example of that. Like that takes almost twice as long as what we're doing now. But it gives better loot. However, you get less gnomes by about half. And when gnomes is one of our main goals, I'd rather get the gnomes. We could do the other methods when it's not a gnome event. But during a gnome event, you generally want to get the quickest win rate possible. Misclick. Very far misclick. Actually, I'm not sure why. I've been so tired today. Well, I know it's somewhat because of the medication. I think I took it for last time earlier, though. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep taking it. Because most of the symptoms have gone away at this point. Well, it's one of those medicines that has like a drowsy effect thing on it. Whatever that's called. Isn't there a special name for that? Let's see, we'll take that one. Over 330,000 gold keys, gosh. I opened some of mine earlier. But, yeah, I think we're at like 200,000, 150,000, somewhere around there. What is our gold key stack at right now? 176,000. And almost all of it is off of Tribute. If nothing else, it's almost like a Tribute tracker. Because you could theoretically tell how many gems you've gotten off of it over the course of a week. Because after your guild gets all the gold keys from your from the tasks, you don't really gain gold keys by much other means, other than ever so occasionally like off a board swipe or something, which is very rare. But a good majority of those is going to be specifically from Tribute. So you could theoretically, over the course of several days, figure out how many gems you've gotten from Tribute. And the way that you do that is check what your gems are on, let's say, something like Tuesday. Check what your current amount of gems are. Then on, let's say, Thursday, you then go and check it again. And, or sorry, don't check your gems. Check how many maps you have, or how many gold keys you have. Check it on, like something like Tuesday, after your guild has already done the brown task, which you could probably even do on Monday, because most guilds will get that done pretty quickly. But then after you do that, you then go check several days later when you actually want to go check how much progress has been made, how many gold keys you then have. And basically every 2 gold keys is approximately 1 gem that you would have earned off a Tribute. So if you do the math on that, it could basically give you a guesstimation of how much Tribute gems you've obtained within that time. If you're ever curious like how many gems you've obtained over a certain amount of time. Obviously that won't work if you get gold keys by other means, other drops in the game. However, very, very few of them are obtained through other means other than that one really big amount that you get from guild right at the beginning of a week. So after that point, you can pretty much track it that way. I don't think most people do that, but if you ever want like an easier way to track gems from Tribute over time, that's probably your best bet. Because you'll always get gold keys equal to 2 times the amount of gems you got. So if you get something like, or sorry, did I say gold keys? I mean gold keys. But if you get something like 100 gold keys, you would have gotten 50 gem keys, or you would have gotten 50 gems from your Tribute. That's applicable for any number. So if you get like 500, then you got about 250 gems over that course of time, so on and so forth. Nice little way to track it without directly keeping track of literally every drop you ever get from it. Kind of like an automatic system for tracking it. And it'll be close within like several gems as far as what number it gives. Could be slightly off due to other gold key drops, but very few other ones come into the game. Manual moves is like one of the only other few. Which per hour is probably only like a few, if even that. Yeah, gold keys can give a lot of gems. Every 100 gold keys averages about 1.5 gems. Yeah, they can definitely add up to be a lot. So something like 100,000 is about 1,500 gems, approximately, give or take. And if you get a bit below that, you got under the drop rate, and if you get a bit above that, you got over the drop rate. Because it has a 1% chance to give you 1 or 2 gems. And I believe the 1 or 2 gem drops are evenly spread 50-50. but I'm not 100% certain on that. But for what I've seen in the past, it looks pretty much evenly split. Yeah, gold keys have a lot of really good small loot. You can accumulate a lot of glories. One actually big thing that you get off of them, if you still need minor trait stones, they are actually theoretically the best way of accumulating minor trait stones in the entire game, due to the sheer rate at which you can get them. Obviously, you would need some amount of gold keys or gold in general to be able to do so. However, they theoretically have the highest rate of normal trait stones in the game, of the common ones, which is relevant because they're used for like literally every single trading ever. You end up using tons and tons of them. So be able to get a lot off of gold keys is pretty nice. We also get some other useful things like glory. If you got the keys for free from tribute, you get some gold of actual profit from it. Because obviously if you spend gold, even though it has a gold drop, that gold is obviously not profit, because you're spending more gold than what you're getting back. But the two more noteworthy ones are, or there's three really noteworthy drops. It drops gems, it drops glory, and it drops common trait stones. Those three things is what makes gold keys pretty decent. However, the value from contributing to your guild and everyone contributing to the guild is better than doing gold keys. So generally, the only gold keys you tend to really do, unless you're in ultra early game, tends to only be when you get them from tribute. The banner is really important. Our weapon is not. You can use literally any weapon in the game. A good cheaper alternative might be Black Manacle. This one you get from 250 wins, I believe, on Dervish hero class. Pretty sure it's Dervish. You'll notice I've casted it a total of 0 times. When we're doing consistent explore battles, you never need it. It's more so for other game modes. Like if we were to use this team in, let's say, like Adventure Board or Daily Dungeons or something, is more so what that weapon is for. However, when you're just running quick explore like this, or if you were to run it for PvP, like 1 trophy PvP for the really weak ones, but under casual PvP. But as far as running it for explore, the weapon actually means literally nothing as long as it doesn't block for lane. It is 100% irrelevant what you actually have there. However, the banner matters. The banner should be +2 blue, +1 yellow, it should be +2 blue, +1 green, which I believe is the -1 yellow banner. Yeah. It is really important that you have +2 blue, +1 green, -1 yellow, because you use the +1 green that also Gnome has for a total of +2. So that if you 4 times or 5 times off a blue or green, you will full mana your Rowan. This is very important because you can do something like that to gain full mana and then instantly cast a kill. It's very important that you have a total of +2 blue-green for this build. It's one of the reasons why it's the quickest build for Explorer in the game. Because there's 2 entire options that you can get off the starting board. Or theoretically 4. 4 times 5 times green and 4 times 5 times blue. All of which will instantly give you full mana and auto win you the battle. And while it doesn't happen every battle that does happen saves about 2 seconds or so. Which doesn't sound like much, but when a total battle is around like 15-20 seconds, that's a lot of time. So you can do something like that so you don't need to explode and it goes quicker. It also gives you that guarantee extra turn. But that's the whole reason why we have a total +2/+2. Really, really useful. You don't always get to use it for most of the battles, but the battles that you do get to use on, it's very, very helpful on. But yeah, quite a few people do throw their gold keys immediately. The main reason why quite a few people hoard them, like myself, is people who have the habit of doing so for kingdoms. Back in the day, which isn't even that long ago, like less than 2 years ago, we used to get a new kingdom every few, I almost said weeks, every few months. They were kind of like delves, but much bigger kind of events. And a lot of the economy of the game was centered around these events, because you would throw a bunch to try to get all the new troops that just came out. And that was basically what the economy of the game was based on before all these other like sigil-related events came into the game. And basically, there was no easy way to get the common. The common wasn't in the event key drop table, and there was no way to really farm it up. So the only way you could really do it is gold keys. And for this reason, for anyone who wanted to have the common fully maxed as soon as it came out, you basically had to save every single one of your gold keys for the following kingdom. And because a lot of people have the habit of just saving all the gold keys for the following kingdom, and the fact that we haven't had a kingdom for almost 2 years, a new one, it's led to a lot of people just hoarding absurdly high amounts of gold keys. Which, if you're ever wondering why people are saving them, it's kind of just out of habit for a lot of players who've been playing for a while. But yeah, it hasn't even been 2 full years yet. It'll be 4 months until it's been 2 years without a kingdom. It seems like it's been a lot longer than that, but it really hasn't been too long. Less than 2 years. It's almost like a year and a half at this point. Maybe a little bit more than a year and a half, but you know, it's pretty much around there. Ugh. You have some keys for every type of key that exists. Do we not have that? I believe we do. I think I might not have it for seals because I might use up my seal ones. Yeah, I used up my guild seal keys. But, yeah, I have it for the rest. I used to have a really big stack of these, but then we used them at one point. Is there even a way to get those anymore? Didn't they change how that PAX works? So that's theoretically impossible to even get one like that now? Yeah, I didn't even think about that. It's actually impossible to get a guild key now that specifically stacks onto that stack. There's no way to do that. But yeah, gosh, guildmate gifts cost more than $1 each, theoretically. And we can get 3 for free, with just 200 gems. Obviously, you're getting other rewards too. But if you compare it to something like this... Wow, I didn't actually think of the value of something like that. Look at this $5 pack. It gives an Orb of Clans, 10,000 gold, and 4 guildmate gifts for $4.99. You know what you can do instead? You can go and buy this pack twice, use those 200 gems, and then use it on, if you get an offer like this, where it has the clan offer, where you get the 3 guildmate gifts and an orb of clans. And you just, instead, for $5, which would have given you 1 orb of clans, 4 guildmate gifts, and 10,000 gold, instead, for only $4, you can get 2 vault keys, 3 guildmate gifts, and an orb of clans. So you save $1, and the only real main difference is 1 less guildmate gift, but you get 2 vault keys instead. But yeah. I guess this pack actually is pretty decent value. I've gotten it every single time I've seen it. I have never not gotten this pack. Unfortunately, it's a VIP only pack. You have to have VIP 6 to even see this one, or to be able to purchase it. It is one of the VIP only ones. But it actually isn't that bad of value. It's also the only way in the entire game to gain guildmate gifts without spending money. Of course, you would have already had to spend some amount of money on the game. But since I did that ages ago, I technically don't count that. It's not us having to spend new money. Yeah, there's a lot of mistakes you can make in this game. I almost feel like doing a whole nother video of that. I've kind of covered it slightly in the past, but there's a lot of ways you can waste your resources in this game. It's hard to cover all of them really quickly, though, in a single video. It's because there's so many ways, because there's so many resources. Like, literally every resource in the game has a different way where you can accidentally waste it in multiple different ways. Though I think the most consequential ones are probably diamonds, orbs, and gems are the 3 main resources where if you waste them, they're pretty devastating. I can't think of any other resource that's like excessively high. There's like a few others, like maybe the color deeds that you get for dooms or something. I feel like those 3 have the biggest impact of how you could waste them. Gems, gosh, no, I just forgot what the other thing was. Fail. It was gems, orbs, and wow, short-term memory. If we went through every resource in the game, it'd be really obvious what they are. Let's see. Actually, let's go through that. Which ones are like the easiest to waste? Gold you can't really waste for the most part. Oh yeah, diamonds. Yeah, diamonds and Soulforge. But yeah, gold you can't really waste. Unless you're like putting them into factions too early, there's almost no way to waste them. That's like the only way to waste it. Actually, I might as well go over real quick like the way that you could waste every single one of them, the one that you should avoid. Factions. Don't spend any gold on factions early on, or if you do, just do it on like the one that you're farming. It is a really big gold sink and not something you want to be doing earlier on in the game. The only other way you can kind of waste it is overly contributing to your guild. Yeah, diamonds was the other one. Gems is the one that you can easily waste the most. This is like a whole topic in itself, but yeah, that's like that's too long of a topic to cover right now. Souls, for the most part, you can't really waste. There's like nothing you could do with them that would technically waste them, so you're pretty much fine on that. Maybe like excessively early on in the game you kind of could, but for the most part, you can't really waste your souls. Glory is another similar resource where pretty much anywhere where you use glory is perfectly fine. There's not really much of a way to waste your glory. The only way you could really do so is if you converted it into maybe like souls or too many treasure maps so you couldn't even use them. But those are probably like the only ways you could really waste them. Because even buying a total like absurd amount of the troop isn't even necessarily bad. We've done that a couple times for the gold and the other drops that it has. Treasure maps you can't waste. If anything, you should just set them on fire because they're useless. Guild seals, you could waste these by using them when you don't have a max chest drop. So you do want to make sure you have a like level 5 or level 6 chest, ideally level 6, before you bother doing these. You also generally want to save them for new legends, so that's not required. Vault keys, there's no way to waste these other than losing the battle. So make sure you're at least able to do the battle before you use any of your vault keys. But most people are at the point where they can win a vault battle. Chaos Shards, for the most part, can't really be wasted, though you do want to save them for when a new faction comes out, so that you can put it towards that, or a faction that you want troops from. Orbs of Growth, for the most part, you can't really waste, just because they're so plentiful. Orbs of Ascension is the main orb that you could accidentally waste. You should only ever use the small one to get a Legend to Mythic, something ascended to Legend to Mythic. And the major ones you should pretty much just save for Zugoff, if you're long-term trying to get everything in the game. Orbs of Wisdom you pretty much use on Epic's second or third trait, particularly their second one, oddly enough. Legend second or third trait, or Mythic second or third trait. Anything else is basically wasting it. And Major Orb of Wisdom you pretty much only use exclusively on Mythics. However, if you're in a pinch to get something like a Legend traded or Hero Class traded, you could do it on that as well. Orb of Clans, basically you can't waste. You could waste the seals that comes from them, but them themselves you can't really waste for the most part. Though you can more effectively use them by trying to use them to try to get to 40,000 and coordinating with your guild if your guild doesn't normally get there. Orbs of Power pretty much just go to Zugoff. Anything else would be a waste. If you're using this on a troop in any way, is a 100% waste of that. Trait Stones, for the most part, you can't really waste because you need them for kingdom upgrades anyways. So trading incorrect troops or anything like that isn't necessarily wasting them. So there's not really much of a way to waste those. Gold Keys, it's impossible to waste. Glory Keys and Gem Keys, you could only really waste if you use them when you might want to get a Mythic, but you use them while, like for example, let's say you already own a copy of a Mythic on the exclusive week, and then you open more keys, and then you get another Mythic. That Mythic could have been a random Mythic that you don't own, but instead you opened it while you already had the Mythic, and you got another copy of it. It's like the only instance where you could really waste those for the most part. But yeah, there's not too many instances. As far as event keys could be wasted to a partial degree. You should only use these when the event troops within the drop table are actually good. Next really noteworthy time for that is June 1st. We're getting a new Mista Scales Legend. You'll also be able to get a reality off of event key drop table if you're looking for her. And that's probably going to be the next best time to go use event keys. VIP keys basically share the same properties of like that of gem keys, in that you would mostly just use it for targeting down mythics. And the only way to really waste it would be to, if you already got like the mythic, trying to open up more, which is just waste it. And guild keys I already went over. As far as crafting material, you can waste it by getting weapons you don't really need, or by getting mythics that you don't really need, ones that are just underwhelming and not that useful. But yeah, these could really easily be wasted. Also, you can accidentally waste diamonds by converting them into souls, which you should never, ever do. The diamonds are worth substantially more. But yeah, those could easily be wasted. And probably one of the more annoying ones is specifically diamonds, accidentally wasting those. Pet food, for the most part, can't really be wasted. However, upgrading too many cosmetic pets generally is not a good idea. You should be focusing them on, even faction pets, you shouldn't really be upgrading as much. You should be focusing on all the base normal ones that actually gain like normal bonuses. The ones that you can find randomly whenever you get a pet gnome. Pet gnome bait you can't really waste, even though it's like nearly impossible to get in the current state of the game. Hopefully they'll add it to like the daily offers, potentially, or something. But there's really no way to waste this, because even if you use it while there's already a gnome, it'll go on to like the next gnome thing, or you know, it'll happen after the gnome. The only way you could really waste this is if you lose the battle, because it's not an automatic gnome trigger. So make sure just to do it on an easier battle. Mostly ingots and stuff you can't really waste, so you do want to prioritize better weapons first, obviously. So doing on weaker weapons would obviously be a little bit of a waste, but you do need them for kingdom upgrades anyways. All the Forge Scrolls could theoretically be wasted in the fact that you could use them on not good weapons. In the current state of the game, the only weapons 100% worth going for as far as Doom weapons are concerned, as far as upgrading them, are the 6 Doom weapons that do full AoE damage into a Doom Skull Convert. Those are the main ones that are worth doing. Guildmate Gift is literally impossible to really waste. Just give it to a random person in your guild who's been helpful or for whatever reason, and then boom, you give them some gems. There's not really much of a way to waste them. When is our next Animal Crossing stream? We're doing Animal Crossing stream tomorrow, probably around noon. I know it's been about a week, but we will be back tomorrow, and we got a lot to go over once that happens as well. Because, gosh, has a lot happened since then. Like a lot. Like a lot. But we'll go over that tomorrow around noon. Writs you could waste by putting into literally anything but purple or Imperials, which are pretty much your only 2 options. There is no other option. And deeds, the 6 color deeds, for the most part, you can't really waste. For purple, you definitely want to go for the magics first. For green, you definitely want to go for the 1 magic first. And the rest of them, you can kind of pretty much use however you want. Though you do generally want to do it based on delves or the bonuses that you need. But for the most part, you can't really waste the 6 base deeds. However, you can waste Imperials. Imperials can be wasted in the sense that you don't want to upgrade kingdoms that have a really bad stat necessarily. You either want to save them for the total 50% for extra delves if you want to focus on that. Or save it for getting good stats up. Like something like armor you might not necessarily want to get, even though it's used for Wayne, just because it's one of the more useless stats in the game. You want to focus on things like magic first, HP, possibly even attack. I feel like armor might actually be one of the really last ones you go for. But that's pretty much how that goes down. And yeah, that's pretty much every resource in the game. Though we'd go over that more in depth at some point. But that's a quick rundown for any of you curious. The more in-depth version would be much, much longer. Not going over how to not waste gems is like a video on itself. It would almost be like a 2-parter. How not to... Oops, this is not the battle I meant to do. Whoops. Wrong kingdom. But yeah, gems themselves have so many ways of using them and wasting them. That's pretty much a topic in itself. Whereas all the other ones could be covered in a single video. Am I not spending my deeds? Yes. A lot of them I'm not spending. And the main reason for this is I'm trying to not overly waste my Imperials. Once we have every single magic maxed, which we're actually almost there, I'm probably going to be spending them a little bit more. But I just want to make sure I don't accidentally overspend them to the point that we can't get a magic immediately. But no, I will be using those soon. And we will gain 3 additional stats from doing so, possibly even 4. Volky! Hey! Wow, this has been a really good stream. A really good hour. That's 3 Volkies this hour. That's some pretty good value. I still need 6 more if we want to reach 200 by the end of this weekend, though. Oh, also, thank you for that, Cinnamon. I think we're at the point in Animal Crossing where I have near infinite resources, though. It is appreciated. At this point, I'm mostly just looking for objects I need. Like fake art, real art, things that work well for a museum, regardless of what it is. And the rest of the CJ and Flick models I'm still missing. Though I almost have full completion on it. Or I should say, I have almost full non-time travel completion on it. Because obviously we're not time traveling or anything. So we'll get the other ones when we get them. Let's see, we'll go for that for now. Oh, that's not the move I wanted. Let's see, we'll take that for now. If anyone still has any questions, let me know. We'll make sure to go over it all. But actually, one of the funny reasons why we theoretically have infinite resources right now in Animal Crossing without actually using any glitches or exploits or time travel is mostly because I've been breeding a lot of gold flowers. And gold flowers is a rather interesting item in that there is currently no way in the entire game to duplicate them. The only way to actually get them is by breeding them, and no other way. Like, it's not an item that you can just infinitely reproduce with any kind of glitch or anything like that. You could theoretically get it a bit quicker with time travel, but even that doesn't give it too much quicker. But, yeah, it's something that takes a little bit of time, and it's something that is quite beneficial to non-time travelers. Actually, it's probably the most efficient way for non-time travelers to try to make a profit in the Animal Crossing economy. But because it's something that people that cheat the game can't naturally get easily, you basically make a profit from it, and regardless of what the current economy of the game is. So if the current economy inflates, the amount of profit that you make off them also inflates. So it's kind of interesting how that ends up interacting, because it's something that's like every single player that's cheating with time travel or duping would eventually want to have for themselves, since they're probably going to be too impatient to get it themselves. So they're just going to buy it in multiplayer. So it ends up working out so we could basically get keep up with the economy of the game, regardless of how much it inflates. Let's see, what do we want here? We'll get a split for now. Actually, we'll take that down. Let's see, move that over. Grab our other thing, and we're good to go. What else do we need right now? We'll grab that for now. No, I've been doing a lot better. Thank you, Chad. Nope, it's pretty much gone away. It has pretty much gone the way. Still have like an ever so occasional cough, but I feel like I always have an ever so occasional cough. Like almost never goes away. Like that. That's not like bad like before. Nope, pretty much all repaired. The rest helped a lot. And then we'll slowly start transitioning back into normalness. Still need to cover the event video thingy. But we'll pretty much be back to normal going into next week. Completely. With everything. A single Orpheus. Yeah, we just got the metal upgrade earlier, so that's why I said new. Because it always says new when it's the first badge after the upgrade thing. We're using this team and we're farming Zejin for Volatile Event Weekend. The main reason for this is as Greenstorm, which helps Rowan when we're not using a hero class that naturally has a Greenstorm, which this hero class does not. It doesn't have it every battle, but it has String Fiddler, and String Fiddler has Greenstorm on it, and Greenstorm is extremely beneficial for this team. Of course, as I say that, we're never going to get a single String Fiddler battle now. That's one of the main reasons why I actually run in Zejin. That, and it doesn't have any of like the really annoying troops. It doesn't have any Empower. It doesn't have 25% spell reduction. It doesn't have any spell reduction. It doesn't have the 25% revives, nothing like that. What level? Whatever level you can one-shot at 100% of the time. I can personally do Explore 3. However, if you can't do Explore 3, do Explore 2. String Filler, there he is. He creates a Greenstorm, as you can see. And this is very beneficial for not only landing extra turn, but again, that last little bit of mana, in case we didn't already get it from the explosion. It doesn't make too much of a difference, but it definitely does help, having a free Greenstorm. My screen is blurry. Click the settings menu, and it'll fix it. It's probably set to auto right now on YouTube. Set it to, if you're on phone, at least 480. If you're on PC or TV, definitely at least 720. Sometimes YouTube autos it to a really low amount. Come on, can we not get a 5th vault key to stream? I kind of want to keep farming until we get one. But I feel like anytime I say that, it takes us like hours to go get a single key. So where even are all the gnomes? We're going on a bit of a dry streak. Give us the gnomes. Come on, if we can get one more, we'll be halfway there. They still have a whole nother 2 days. Code at 5th key. Pretty sure we're not getting a 5th key to stream. If we somehow do within like the next 10 minutes, yeah, we'll probably hand out a code. Because I think I might wrap up soon. Let's see. If we can get a vault key within the next 5 gnomes, we'll hand out a redeem code, a second redeem code to stream. First we need to find 5 gnomes. But yeah, we'll go for 5 more gnomes. And if we get a vault key on any of those gnomes, we will hand out a redeem code. Then we'll probably wrap up from there for today. So that could take an hour with the rate of gnomes we're currently getting, gosh. Yeah, they really like to clump for whatever reason. I'm not sure what they did with the coding that makes them do that, but they really, really love to clump. Almost always. Like, you'll go on really big dry streaks and then, like, get, like, 2 or 5 within, like, a really short duration. Oh, you got back-to-back Volky gnomes today. I've done that multiple times. I haven't done it yet today, though. Unfortunately. I've never gotten triple, I don't believe, but I've gotten double multiple times. Like, back-to-back, like, literally doing a battle, and then the next battle you get another Volky from both. Oh, nice. You're gathering data and using a bunch of them at once. I haven't really tried doing that method yet. But it is possible to do all the kingdoms and then use all the shards at once. It's an interesting method. Oh, we got 5 gems. Okay, 4 more gnomes. Hopefully we found a clump. Also, he really loves dropping 5 gems today. I think that's like our 4th or 5th 5 gem drop. Though we still haven't seen a single 20. There's 2. Ah, we found a clump. Okay, there's 2. Ooh, 4 gem key. First 4 gem key drop of the day. That's honestly the 3rd best drop I would want. Volky's best, 1000 Glory second best, and 3rd best for me is personally 4 gem keys. Theoretically, 3 event keys is a higher gem value. However, I need gem keys a lot more than I need event keys. Honestly, I'd almost prefer 3 gem keys over 3 event keys. However, it gives 4 gem keys rather than 3 event keys. So I'm perfectly happy with that. While event keys theoretically have a higher gem value, getting 3 compared to 4 of that, it's technically lower value to me because I don't really need them. So yeah, a 4 gem key drop is personally what I'd value at 3. Or the 3rd best. As far as actual gem value, it's the 4th best of any gnome. As far as my actual usefulness, I would say it's 3rd. For anyone who has more event keys than they know what to do with. Come on, 3 more gnomes. What's my medal setup for this team? It's pure armor. You just run armor 3 times. There's no other benefit you can really give it. Because you already have half mana start on the only troop that matters. And empower on the other troop that matters. But you just run pure armor because it gives you 48 additional Rowan mana. I mean, damage. And this ideally allows you to do Explore 3. And if nothing else, it'll definitely allow you to do Explore 2. Because if you're at the point where you can have 3 medals of guard, you're almost guaranteed at the point where you have enough damage to kill out Explore 2. I think that alone, just with base value of Rowan's, already enough. Okay, 2 more gnomes after this one. Valky, go, or at least 1,000 glory, come on. Valky, 1,000. Ah, 200. Why must he keep doing that today? Come on, 2 more gnomes. See those juicy drops. But I found a clump of gnomes, hopefully find them. It might be a while before we find another clump of them. Because that was 3 within like under 10 battles. Oh, Essence of Evil is a nice weapon to have. It wouldn't really help with this event, but it's good for a lot of things. It's a really great disable option. Honestly, probably one of the best in the game. It's almost like a full disable cast in combination with a Mountain Crusher. Okay, 1 more gnome after this one. Come on, Valky. Please give us Valky. Ah, that's his worst drop. Glory Gnome gave worse, you gave worse. So for these last 5 we got, or 4 I should say, we got 5 gems and 4 gem keys, both were good. Then 200 glory, which technically isn't bad. It's worth 9 gems. So theoretically it's actually better than the 5 gem drop theoretically. But, and then the 1,000 glory. What's our 5th gnome gonna be? The almighty Valky? Sure hope so. Yeah, it is advised getting Sun Spirit to 100. Triple damage on burning's pretty useful. Well, it's not used excessively high amount at times. It is really useful to have as a utility. It's already a really great hero class even without it. But having it gives it more options. One of the few hero classes that does benefit from being 100. Level 100. Oh no, now we're gonna go on our dry streak. It's gonna take us like 30 minutes just to find 1 gnome now. Oh no. As long as it's the Valky gnome. What's the best thing you can hope to obtain from a Valky? Well, minor orbs, if you're not counting majors then. You can get minor blue or minor purple. Minor blue being the absolute best thing that isn't a major orb. Other drops that are really good value is the 250 gem drop, the 100 gem drop, the 20 gem key drop, the 15 event key drop, and if you still need Cedric. Or if you're still missing one of those gnomes that you're missing. But as far as its absolute best value, it's obviously all the major orbs except for green and orange. Though some people might even want the orange. But it's the major purple and major blue. The minor purple and minor blue. If you're not counting majors, the minor blue is actually the best drop you can get, not counting majors. It's actually a small chance that you get a Valky from a Valky, oddly enough. So you get to run a Valky again. The 250 and 100 gems, the 20 gem key, the 15 event key. That's pretty much all the drops you're really looking for. And specific troop drops if you're still looking for any. But yeah, there is a chance to get Volky within a Volky. As weird as that may seem. The chance is very low. But it is possible. Unfortunately, it's only a single Volky, not a double. Though it's specifically off of one of the side gnomes and not the Cedric itself, though. And all the side gnomes still give their normal drops. You can still get a bunch of 20 gem drops from them. You can still get their 4 gem key drops, or their 1 gem key drop, or their 3 event key drop. Or any of the other things, like the 3 celestials. Oh, final gnome. Volky, go. Let's hand out that code. Hopefully we got one. If we do, we hand out code. If not, then no code. Come on, Volky. Volky. Ah! 100 souls, why? Why you do this to us? It's like the worst drop he has, or among one of them. Well, we got 4 Volkies so far. So if we do 4 today, 4 tomorrow, and 2 on Sunday, that's 10. I was hoping to have 5 by the end of the day, though. At least. But I might just have to wait. He felt too pressured. He ran away. But he left the loot. If you even call that loot. You did 12 and got 1 extra. Nice. I think I've only seen it once. A Volky from a Volky. Either once or twice. Have I ever gotten a Volky from a Volky? It's actually exceedingly rare. Like, the drop rate of Volky must be excessively reduced within vaults, but still present. Does anyone else have any other questions? Otherwise, we're probably going to wrap up soon. Let me know. And tomorrow morning, we'll get the event video up. We'll finally stream some Animal Crossing, which we haven't done for like an entire week at this point, due to being sick. I didn't want to do those streams because normally I'm talking a lot, and that wouldn't have been good for the voice while coughing and everything. So I was just resting. Which paid off, because now we're pretty much better. Within only a few days. Well, it started more so on like Sunday. It was really, really bad on Monday. It was still decently bad on Tuesday. And then it kind of just recovered from there, and now we're pretty much normal. I'll open some keys. You want to see that gnome. I want to hit that 200 mark before we open any. Though I might start opening some into the future. Because saving at least 200 for when an update happens is probably fine. I think once we have a 200, we might start opening every Volky beyond it. To try to find Mecha Gnome. So I might start doing that. Every Volky we get beyond 200, I might start using. In order to hunt for the Gnome, and also because it's more fun. If we can get to 200 by the end of this weekend, that'd be really nice. And then I think I'm going to start opening every Volky we ever get beyond 200. At least until we find Mech Gnome anyways. Still kind of annoying that that's the only thing we're missing. What's the metal hunting team for Scorpius? It is Mountain Crusher. It's Mountain Crusher, Scorpius, Leprechaun, or Yali. Or Yali can be replaced with any 4 times poison in the game. Like Web Spinner, Shadow Hunter, or anything else you might want to use. As long as it has 4 times poison. Yali works best though, just because she gets to do it off extra turn. Also, if you don't have Yali, you'll actually be able to get her pretty soon. Because she's in the event key drop table on June 1st for that entire week. And you're going to want to open up event keys anyways that week. Because there's a new legend in the drop table. So if you don't already have a Yali, you might be able to pick up a copy just randomly without even going out of your way for it, just by trying to get to new legends, if you get lucky enough. Why are we holding on to so many Vault Keys? In case they ever revamp Vault Keys. There's a chance they'll make it so you can get a lot more copies of the lower rarity ones into the future. And when they do that, that's going to be beneficial for maxing them. They also mentioned in the past that they might do a high risk, high reward kind of thing, where it might be a higher chance that you lose, but you'd get better loot if you wanted to. So if you choose to do something like that. Neither have been actually implemented into the game. However, there's a possibility they could be within several patches. It's one of those things that were kind of mentioned but never done, like many things within the game. However, Guardians was one of those things that we thought would never happen. We thought for the longest time they just kind of completely forgot about adding new troops to Seal Drop Table, because they mentioned it like ages ago, like a little over 2 years ago, and then it took them to like a year and a half ago to actually implement it. So it took them almost 2 years to go and implement a feature that they mentioned ages ago. And at this point, it almost seems like what's going to be happening with Vault Key rework. They mentioned it a little over a year ago, and they still haven't done a rework for it. Like a year or a year and a half ago, they mentioned it, and they still haven't done anything. Actually, it might have been closer to a year, I forget. It had to have been after Mech Gnome, but before Jewel Gnome. I mean, after Jewel Gnome, but before Mech Gnome, I mean. Because we don't have Mech Gnome, but we had the one previous to Mech Gnome, which I believe was Jewel Gnome. So it was announced sometime within that time frame. When will they fix the achievement? Which achievement? I don't think any achievement is currently broken in the game. Last I recall, all of them are working properly. We have no way of knowing because they already have them all. Hey, we gained our hero class. Well, all of them except the that one that requires a lot of metal troops, which we'll get eventually. Alright, there we go. Level 75 Slayer. And then we'll get it to 80. And then once we have it to 80, boom. Base level 80 hero classes. Then we just start getting them slowly to 100. And we'll be good to go. As of this current moment in time, we only have about 70 hours of hero class grinding until we have maxed out every single hero class in the game. It's obviously a lot of time. But once we do that, we are completely done with all hero classes, unless they add some kind of new feature to grind related to them. What's a good card to replace our Yali in the metal hunting team? Web Spinner or Shadow Dragon. Some people also use Magnus, but I would prefer Web Spinner or Shadow Dragon, mostly because they have board control. So they actually have a chance of extra turning to maintain it on your turn. Whereas something like Magnus will auto end your turn, which you generally want to avoid when you can in any battle. Not just like one like that. Anyways, anyone else have any other questions? Otherwise, that will probably be a wrap for now. We'll be back tomorrow, same time as always, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is about 2 hours prior to now tomorrow. We'll be messing and getting Slayer to level 80 tomorrow night. We'll also be going and hunting for more gnomes. During midday, we're probably going to be going and covering the video in the morning at some point. Then covering Animal Crossing hopefully by about noon or so. And then kind of going from there. That's essentially the game plan right now. And yeah, we haven't done Animal Crossing for, gosh, I think it's been an entire week now at this point. Pretty sure last Saturday was the last time we even did it. So yeah, I think it's literally an entire week. So a lot has happened since then, so we'll recap on that. And yeah, kind of just go from there. Anyways, guys, we'll catch you guys later. Hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Best of luck with the Gnome event. And we'll be back tomorrow night to go and continue our grinds. And hopefully we'll be able to hit 10 total vault keys this weekend for 200 total altogether. So that once we reach 200, we'll probably start opening every key we ever get immediately. You know, any of them exceeding 200. And just save the 200 for if they ever rework it. Just so we have some amount. Because 200 should be a pretty solid amount if they ever rework it. Let's see. Can the vault event be done in any other kingdom? Also, we're starting to get low on gems, and I kind of want to replenish it some. It's one of the other reasons I want to do that. Can the vault event be done in any other kingdom? At what level? Yes. You can do vault event in every single kingdom at level 2 or 3, for the most part. You generally just want to avoid kingdoms that have 2 main mechanics. Well, 3. Well, if you're doing it on Explorer 1 or 2, there's only 2 mechanics you want to avoid. If you're doing it on 3, there are 3 mechanics you want to avoid. The main 2 mechanics you always want to avoid is anything that has a % chance of reviving on death, and anything that has empowered. Those 2 things will always slow you down, regardless. So you generally want to avoid both of those. The third thing, which only matters if you're doing a slightly higher difficulty, is spell reduction. Spell reduction, if you're doing like Explore 1 or 2, particularly Explore 1, will not matter at all. But if you're doing something like Explore 3, like if I went to White Helm and tried doing Explore 3, I would not be able to one-shot it with my Rowan, even though our Rowan has really high damage, just because so many troops there have 25% and 50% spell reduction. It's something you would normally avoid. However, if you're doing Explore 1, you would generally have enough damage that no kingdom would matter how much spell reduction it has, because you just have so much damage that it'll just kill it anyways. It's not really advised doing that, but theoretically you could run any kingdom by doing that method. Anyways, guys, I'm going to be heading out for now. Thank you so much for stopping by. Have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe out there, and I will catch you guys very, very soon. Goodbye, everyone, and thanks for watching.